Hi, everybody. Welcome to Life with Anita. So today's episode, I had a chance to sit down last night and enjoy the Tyler Perry story, Maxine's Baby. I had been hearing about this for months. I had not got a chance to watch it. So let me give you my review. Here we go. So when it first comes on, and I always wanted to know the story behind Tyler Perry, right? Because you hear bits and pieces about people's life, so it doesn't give you the full scope of everything. So I really wanted to know a lot more, and I had heard about this documentary that he had done, and I had not got a chance to watch it when it first came out. So I decided last night to sit down and just have some me time, just some time to myself to enjoy some good movies or, good TV or whatever. And I said, I'm going to enjoy this documentary. I'm going to watch it and process it and really learn more about him. Because if you think about it, Tyler Perry came from a situation where he was homeless in his car. And then he became this multi-million-dollar successful person by extreme hard work. I tell people all the time, nothing comes easy, okay? I don't want to have to ask people for stuff. I don't want people doing stuff for me just to be doing stuff. And I don't have any hard work because I take pride in being a hard worker. I take pride in what I do. And when I watched Maxine's Baby, the Tyler Perry story, and I watched his journey from a child, and I watched as he grew up, and I watched as he was finding his purpose, as he was building his faith, as he was there for his mother. And for those of you who have not seen it, I will not tell you everything that happened, but just to watch how he evolved into who he is today is truly a story of triumph, a story of survival, and something that he touched on that I do want to speak about in the documentary was childhood trauma and healing from that. A lot of times, as me being somebody who now has an organization that helps people deal with healing and, getting themselves together after going through trauma. Hearing a lot of what was talked about in that documentary, it resonated with me because I'm somebody that I understand what it is to have childhood trauma. I have been in relationships with people that have had childhood trauma. I have had relatives, friends who have had childhood trauma that have had to go through the process of healing that. What I will say is that until you heal trauma that you have suffered, it will be hard for you to migrate yourself into healthy situations. It will be hard for you until you go through the process of healing yourself. A lot of people feel like, oh, well, if I get with somebody, that person can take away my trauma. Your trauma is still there. It's still unhealed. Until you sit down and you do the work within, and then you get in therapy if need be, and you talk about that, because it's one thing to vent to your spouse, right? It's one thing to vent to your friends, your family, but until you sit down and say, hey, I'm not myself. Something's going on. I need to fix this. Something ain't right, or I went through this, but I didn't process it. I didn't pull myself through the way I should have, and I'm feeling some type of way, and maybe I need to go and reach out and talk to a therapist, or maybe I need to reach out and get this done and get that done. There's nothing wrong with seeking help when you feel like there is something going on with you. A lot of people are so prideful that even if they know something is wrong with themselves, they will not seek the help to better themselves. And as I was watching this Tyler Perry story, and I saw how he triumphed through so much, and he dealt with what he had going on, and how he turned his pain into power. Me being somebody who has dealt with trauma in many different forms over the years, I understand, and I think that's what has made me the amazing, outstanding, strong woman that I am today. The woman that can help so many people today like I am able to, because I understood what my trauma was. I understood what happened. I understood where it came from. I processed to do what I needed to do. I'm still in the process of doing things I need to do to heal from things so that I can be a better me. So a lot of times sometimes we got to step back and you got to say, hey, listen, I don't need to be out and about with people. I don't need to be in a relationship. I don't need to be over here and doing this and doing that and mingling. And I need to just work on me. A lot of times we don't want to do the work on ourselves, and we need to do that work. A lot of times we just sit there and we keep everything bottled in. One of the dynamic things that I heard Tyler Perry say was he would be in situations and he would learn how to take his mind to somewhere else because he knew better was gonna happen, and that situation or what was happening was only temporary. And for me, as somebody who has been a survivor of domestic violence, somebody who has had trauma in other forms, I had to realize that is such a true statement, that things are temporary, right? If you are going through something and you are trying to survive it, situations are temporary, but that does not mean that's how it's going to end. So I will share a story with you guys, and a lot of you have heard about this. So I remember a lot of times when I was with my ex-husband, D number 2, I would feel like he was just this big monster, like this big Goliath, right? That just, I could not stop, right? And that no matter what I would do or try to get away from it, I couldn't stop the constant abuse in several forms from him. And I would feel so helpless at times. I would feel just like, oh my God, what can I do? So a lot of times when my ex-husband would abuse me, and I'm referring to D number 2, when he would abuse me, I would then find other things to focus on, right? So I wouldn't cry so much. So I wouldn't have too many flashbacks. So I wouldn't have too many nightmares. Or I would do other things to keep my mind off just the abuse that was happening from him. Because I have went through trauma before in my life, before I got with D number 2, right? But when I got with D number 2, he became, over time and over the years that I had been with him, he has become the most traumatic and abusive person to me. And it reminded me so much of how Tyler was talking about how his dad was abusive to him like that, right? And see, I come from a family where my father never hit my mother. My dad didn't raise his voice and curse my mother out, call her names. So I was raised in a 2-parent household where I had a man who was my father, who raised us properly, and the traumas I suffered outside of that had nothing to do with what my father and my mother had taught me growing up. So when I got into relationships and then I started dealing with trauma and things that were happening, I was like, whoa, how could this be happening to me? But I say all that to say that it's important to heal your trauma. So you need to go, I want everybody to go do this, go and watch Tyler Perry's Maxine's Baby. If you have not seen it, it is truly a great documentary. Out of a scale on 1 to 10, I am going to give this a 12 plus. It was truly an amazing documentary. And I hope that my stories, I hope that my podcast, I hope that it truly inspires people. I hope that it helps somebody. I hope that it changes people's life. My story is one that's truly dynamic. People don't even know the half of the things I have been through. Just in my relationship with D number 2 alone, it has been a lot. But over time, I hope to help others to survive the things that I have survived. If people are going through similar situations, or if I can, interact with somebody who it may be in the early stages of maybe they're going through some abuse early in their relationship, and before it gets worse, maybe I can help them out of that. So I just want to say, everybody have an amazing day. Peace, blessings, protection, love, joy, sending out amazing energy to everybody that's listening. But go and watch Maxine's Baby, Tyler Perry documentary. It is truly good. You are going to be sitting there like, OMG, wow. This was truly when I say I've seen a lot of documentaries about people, I have seen a lot. But this Tyler Perry documentary, even though I watched it months later, this was truly something amazing to watch. So once again, go watch Tyler Perry's Maxine's Baby. It is an amazing, amazing, amazing. I can't even stop saying it, y'all. Y'all know when I keep repeating what I'm saying, this is that serious. Go and watch this documentary about Tyler Perry. It is truly something. I mean, this was great. If I could replay it, and I might watch it again tonight, it is really great and dynamic. His story is something truly amazing and inspiring. Thank you guys for tuning into Life with Anita. Have an amazing day, amazing week. Positivity and good energy sent your way.